Welcome to my channel, where today we'll be counting down the top 10 anime where the main character is overpowered from the start but surprises everyone after revealing their true strength. So if this is a topic that interests you, stick around, as there might just be some anime on this list that'll surprise you. But with all that being said, let's jump right into the video, starting off with number 10, the Asterisk War. In the previous century, an unprecedented disaster known as the Invertia drastically reformed the world, and with the powers of the existing nation declining significantly, it paves the way for a new conglomerate called the Integrated Empire Foundation to assume control. But more importantly, the Invertia led to the emergence of a new species of human who are born with phenomenal physical capabilities, known as the Genestilla. However, each Genestilla are not born equally, and the elites are hand-picked across the globe to attend one of the top 6 schools, where they duel amongst themselves in an entertainment battle called the Festas. Ayoto Amaragi is a scholarship student at the prestigious Seito-kun Academy, which has recently been suffering from a decline in performances. Through a series of events, he accidentally sees the popular Witch of Resplendent Flames, Julius Alexis von Riesfield, half-dressed. Enraged, Julius challenges him to a duel for intruding on his privacy. After said duel is voided by the student council president, Ayoto reveals that he has no interest in the Festas. Instead, he is enrolled at the academy to investigate the whereabouts of his missing elder sister. But when a more devious plot unravels, Ayoto sets out to achieve total victory while being surrounded by some of the most talented Genestilla on the planet, and along the way, slowly revealing his true strength and proving that he might just be the strongest one of them all. Number 9, Myriad Colors Phantom World. Phantoms, supernatural entities such as ghosts or yokai that until recently were thought to be mere superstition. However, when a virus that infects the brain spreads throughout society, people's perception of the world changes as the mythological beings are revealed to have been living amongst humanity the whole time. This virus has also affected those of the next generation significantly, allowing them to develop special abilities that they can use to fight against the dangerous phantoms. Haruko Ichijo and Mai Kawakami are two of those that were granted such powers, as Haruko wields the ability to summon and seal phantoms through drawings, while Mai imbues the power of elements into martial arts. Together, alongside the friendly phantom Ruru, they form Team E at Hosi Academy, which is dedicated to dealing with these often mischievous beings. And thus, in a world where the real and surreal intertwine, this series follows the adventures of a group of friends as they handle everyday troubles caused by phantoms. Number 8, Eden Zero. All his life, Shiki has been surrounded by machines. At Granville Kingdom, a long-abandoned amusement park, he is the only one of his kind around. That is until Rebecca Bluegarden and her feline companion Happy arrive. Unaware that they are Granville's first visitors in over 100 years, their goal is to make fun videos for their B-Cube channel. But what they find instead is a friend in the socially awkward Shiki. However, when Granville Kingdom becomes too dangerous for the three of them, they set off on an adventure through the Sakura cosmos. And as they continue their journey, they hope to make more interesting videos and even find the elusive goddess Mother. However, of course their adventure will not be an easy one, as no one has ever seen Mother before, but Shiki is determined to reach his goals and explore the boundless reaches of space together with his new friends. Number 7, Hinomaru Sumo. In the world of professional sumo, there is no weight class. It's a savage sport where the strongest survive while anyone willing to test their mettle can step into the ring. That being said, there is however a minimum size requirement to be a pro sumo wrestler, and although young Hinomaru Ushio is incredibly talented and hardworking, he does not exactly meet those requirements. However, this does not stop Ushio from having big goals of reaching the Hinoshita Kaisen, the highest rank in sumo. That being said, due to his size, the only way he could possibly go pro is if he becomes a high school Yokozuna, a title given to the strongest wrestler in all of Japanese high school tournaments. Because of this, Ushio is under a lot of pressure, as well as a time limit. If he cannot show off his skills in the high school tournaments, he may lose his chance to go pro permanently, and the odds are stacked against him. Instead of enrolling at Ishigami High, the best school for sumo in Japan, he enrolls at Odachi High, and must build a sumo club from the ground up. With Ushio facing one setback after another, he has no choice but to push forward with all of his strength if he ever wishes to make it to the professional leagues. Number 6, Sirius the Jaeger. In the year 1930, vampires have infiltrated Tokyo to feast upon its unsuspecting citizens. As a number of victims continue to rise, the city's authorities decide to hire the Jaegers, a strange diverse group of individuals tasked by the V Shipping Company to hunt down vampires around the world. Carrying musical instrument cases to disguise their identity, the Jaegers battled the vampires with the same mercilessness demonstrated by their foes. Yuli, the Jaeger's most skilled warrior, is the sole survivor of a vampire raid in his home village. Using his strength granted by his werewolf blood, he works with his team team to assist Tokyo law enforcement in the city's vampire problem. Though under the pretense of helping the police, the Jaegers are actually fighting the vampires over the mystical ark of Sirius. With its powers to change the fate of the world, Yuli and its friends must locate the artifact before the vampires can use it to achieve their destructive goals. Number 5. Blood Lad. Stas Charlie Blood is a powerful vampire who rules the eastern district of the demon world. According to rumors, he is a bloodthirsty and merciless monster, but in reality Stas is just an otaku obsessed with Japanese culture and completely uninterested in human blood. Leaving the management of his territory to its underlings, Stas spends his days lazing around indulging in anime, manga, and games. One day, when Fuyumi Yanagi, a Japanese girl, accidentally wanders through a portal leading to the demon world, Stas is overjoyed, but just as he is starting to feel an unusual attraction to her, his territory gets attacked, resulting in Fuyumi's untimely death. She turns into a wandering ghost, and thus the crestfallen Stas vows to resurrect her, as this would mean being able to travel to the human world, something he has always dreamed of. And thus the series follows the adventures of Stas and Fuyumi, who are soon joined by the spatial magician Belle and the half-werewolf Wolf, as they travel to find magic that can bring humans back to life. Number 4. Nanbaka. Nanba is the world's most formidable prison. Built to incarcerate criminals who are too slippery to stay in ordinary confinement, the 4 inmates who occupy cell 13 are particularly cunning on that behalf, having escaped every other prison with a perfect success rate. Within the cell, there is Jugo, a specialist in locks who has spent the majority of his life in prison, Uno, a gambler with great intuition, Nico, an otaku whose body reacts strangely to drugs, and Rock, a bruiser with a love for food. The daily shenanigans of these 4 prisoners always cause troubles for the building supervisor Hajime Sugoroku, who desperately tries to prevent them from breaking out of Nanba. And thus the series follows the comedic exploits of the prisoners and their guards, from 3 square meals a day to sports festivals. Prison life in Nanba isn't actually that bad, and might just be the closest thing these 4 inmates have to a home. Number 3. Chaika, the Coffin Princess. For 500 years, the taboo emperor Arthur Gauze ruled the Gauze Empire with an iron fist and conducted inhumane experiments on his own people, but his reign came to an abrupt end 5 years ago when the mighty warriors, later known as the 8 Heroes, defeated him in a battle for the capital, with his death marking the end of a 300-year-long war between the Gauze Empire and the alliance of 6 nations. In the present day, Toru Akira is a former saboteur from the war who has found it difficult settling into this new peaceful world, as he cannot find a job where he can put his fighting skills to use. An opportunity appears before him, however, when he meets a white-haired wizard by the name of Chaika Tarban. With the coffin on her back, she is searching for the scattered remains of her father in order to give him a proper burial, and she hires Toru and his adoptive sister Akari to help her. However, the Six Nations Alliance, which have now formed the Council of Six Nations, dispatches Albrecht Gillette and his men from the Clement Agency to pursue and apprehend Chaika, who just so happens to be the daughter of the late Emperor Gauze. With the shocking revelation of Chaika's identity, the Akira siblings must now choose between helping her gather the remains of a tyrannical emperor and upholding the peace the continent strives to maintain. Number 2. Magi, the Adventure of Sinbad. Not so long ago, mysterious structures called dungeons began appearing all over the world. No one knew what they were or how they came to be, but adventurers and armies around the world instantly took interest in them. Thousands set out to explore the dungeons, but so far, not a single person has returned. In a Parthavian port, a young boy is about to make a name for himself. Sinbad is good-natured, strong, and craving adventure. And one day, a kind deed leads to his meeting with Yunnan, an enigmatic traveler who is far more powerful than his frivolous personality lets on. Yunnan instructs Sinbad to attain the power of kings and change the world by conquering a dungeon. Eager, the boy readily accepts, setting out on his grand adventure he so craved. And thus the series follows Sinbad's use as the dungeon conqueror. Along the way, the budding adventurer will have to face many obstacles, but anything is possible with the power of a king. Number 1. Twin Star Exorcist. Magano, a parallel realm filled with monsters known as Kagure, is a place where exorcists deal with all impurities. Benio Ashido is a prodigy exorcist who is recognized for her strength and summoned to Tokyo by the Exorcist Union. On the way, she plummets into the arms of Rokuro and Mada, a young exorcist with a troubled past. But the impurities of Magano do not rest. When these 2 exorcists witness a couple of children being stolen by a Kagure, Benio rushes in to save them, dragging Rokuro along with her into Magano. Engaged in a fight she is on the verge of being defeated in, Benio is saved by Rokuro, revealing himself capable of being her rival in talent. And thus, the series tells the story of 2 talented exorcists who are destined to become the Twin Star Exorcist and the prophesized parents of the Mikio, the reincarnation of Abe no Senmei, and the exorcist destined to cleanse the world of all impurities. Well, there you have it, my list of the top 10 anime where the main character is overpowered from the start but surprises everyone after revealing their true strength. So if you made it to the end of this video and enjoyed it or found it helpful, hit the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all future anime recommendations. In addition to that, if you have any genres that you would like for me to cover in future videos, let me know down in the comment section. But if not, it's been Otaku Haven, and until next time, signing out.